pays tribute to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. A remarkable life well lived by one of history's most devoted and cherished monarchs.
When it happens.
Here at Balmoral, where Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II has passed away at the age of 96.
When it matters, you will know.
She's the first and only reigning monarch to visit Australia.
7 News.
Many tributes on course today for the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, of course. Flags flying at half-mast, a floral tribute as well. She lived a simply extraordinary life defined by her sense of duty and service, and Bruce pays tribute to a monarch loved the world over.
As a toddler, Princess Elizabeth was known to have forced her grandfather, King George V, onto all fours so she could lead him by the beard around the nursery. Her delight in being given her first pony, Peggy, was a foregone conclusion. After her first visit to the royal stables, it's said she refused to wash her hands of what she described as that wonderful satiny softness. 4 days after her coronation in 1953, the Queen was at Epsom for the Derby, where her temperamental horse Oriole finished second. The Derby would remain the only classic to elude her. Royal Ascot and Epsom dates were always the first to go into the diary. The Queen could ride, side saddle for royal events, she could drive a carriage. Her daughter and granddaughter were both Olympians. For many years, the Queen was known to race up the straight before the meeting began at Royal Ascot. She studied every aspect of thoroughbred racing and breeding and could hold her own with the world's foremost owners, trainers and riders, right down to stable hands when she got the chance. Queen Elizabeth made 16 visits to Australia. In 1988, Bart Cummings claimed she winked at him after Bozan beat Bone Crusher and Dandy Andy at their bicentenary year's Queen Elizabeth Stakes. During her last visit in 2011, the Cups King and the Queen lunched together before the start of the Spring Carnival. "Hope you're back a winner," 83-year-old Bart quipped. "I don't bet," responded the Queen, aged 85, with a twinkle in her eye. Bart and CS, Tommy Smith and Gay all have anecdotes about their brush with the monarch. In more recent times, she's chatted with Peter Moody and our champion jockey James McDonald. There have been so many champions during her reign. On the year of her first visit to Australia in 1954, Rising Fast became the first and only horse to win the Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate and Melbourne Cup in the one season. In Europe, immortals such as Arkle in the 60s, Nijinsky in the 70s, and then the incomparable Frankel and our own Colossus, Black Caviar.
Well, what a fantastic compliment to Peter Moody, to this great mare, that Her Majesty has come down herself to see her in the flesh.
What was it that she loved best about racing? Breeding a horse that's faster than other people's. Simple as that.
Esterbrook and Ryan Moore has won for Her Majesty the Queen.
We've come to the end of an era. We say goodbye to Queen Elizabeth, a patron and a friend to the sport of racing. Oh, what a life. So, in the factual terms, the 1800s, a lot of winners. She loved the breeding aspect as well, didn't she?
She did. That was her most treasured time, was when she was breeding racehorses. She loved the racing, but the breeding, just the crosses and trying to figure out, as you mentioned in that beautiful tribute, trying to find and breed the best horse that she could possibly find.
And those big horses that won those big races, well, Oriole, that horse that ran second of the Derby, he won a couple of Group 1s for her, and Dunfermline was another absolute star for her. Those Group 1 winners, I think there were 9 of them in total that won 12, and probably Dunfermline and Oriole were the 2 highest rated. Highclere's a name we know so well now, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I am very close with the Moore family, and Ryan Moore mentioned to me that probably the one that got away was Carlton House in the Derby. They thought that he was a terrific chance, and that was the race that one of the classics that she really wanted to win. And I know we're, so fortunate to have horses racing in Australia under her name, but in England they'd be really feeling her loss.
And that estimate winner of the Gold Cup, eh?